Hi, everyone. So I am doing a kind of like a part two to an episode I did a while back about things I don't understand. These are different things, but I also don't understand these things. And I do believe it relates to autism because I cannot be the only one that thinks these things. And also, there's some stuff that's very specific to autism. So I'm just going to get started. I have a list just like I did the last time. And again, if you can relate to anything like this, great. That's kind of the goal, and also to kind of like help me out too. Maybe like let me know that, hey, yeah, I think about this way too. So I'll just get started. The first thing I have on the list is I was watching a show yesterday. I don't even remember what it was, but like some lady had like a necklace on with her name on it. And I've seen those before. Like, those aren't new, but I always thought they were weird. Like, why do you, like, if your name is like Sally, why do you have to go buy like a necklace, like a gold necklace with like your name, Sally, and put it around your neck? Like, I don't understand why people do that. Do you want other people to know your name? Do you really love yourself? Like, that you have to get a necklace to, I don't get it. I can't figure that out. That's weird to me. The next thing on my list is, I don't really understand this one, but I kind of do, I think. So for those of you who know, like there's Canadian wildfires, and like this shit is scary. I don't even live in Canada, but we had a scare with like something like that a couple years ago, because just like the fucking earth is changing, like everything is like heating up. And anyways, so the wildfires over in Canada traveled their way over here to like New York and the surrounding states. And like, I'm not trying to like make light of this. Like, I can't even imagine what it must feel like to live like right in the area where this is happening, and like what the air quality must be over there and how that's affecting people. Because like we've had it lingering here for a few days. Yesterday was the worst. I think today is actually supposed to be worse than yesterday. And I just went outside. I went to Trader Joe's, and oh my God, like I walked outside in the middle of the day. It was like a zombie apocalypse. Like everything was hazy and orange. It almost reminded me of the desert when I was stationed in the desert, and like after dust storms, everything would just kind of have like this orange hue, and that's what that reminded me of. But the air just does not smell good. Like, it's definitely polluted, like they say. And so like there's this like number thing that I don't understand. Like, it goes to 300, and like I guess Canada is at like 287 as of yesterday, and like if you get to 300 and above, it's like terrible breathing air or whatever. So we were at like 162 or something yesterday, which doesn't sound that bad. I don't know what this number means. I just all it means to me is like over 300, really, really bad. Under 300, bad, but not that bad. Oh man, numbers. So yeah, so like I walked out, and holy shit, like I didn't even think to put a fucking mask on. I have like 100 of them that I've collected throughout the pandemic, and I didn't even think to put that on. I was just like shocked, like holy fuck, man, like the air is burning my nose and making it like a little bit more difficult to breathe. Like, I don't know if this is maybe what people who have asthma feel like sometimes. I don't know what to compare it to, but I think I was out for a total of half an hour, if that. And I felt kind of like sickish when I came back, and the little alert that popped up on my phone for like the weather app was saying that the air quality, like if you're out there doing a bunch of like physical stuff or whatever, it's like equivalent to smoking between like pretty much 3 and 11 cigarettes. So like half a pack of cigarettes is like what the equivalent to breathing in that fucking polluted air is. And I used to be a smoker. For years I was a smoker, and I was like, holy fuck, did I feel like this bad smoking? Because I remember liking smoking. I don't remember feeling like this, but I must have. But anyways, I don't understand like my physical reaction to something that isn't even happening in the direct area, like right around here. I don't think it's just me. I'm not unique. I know that, but I just thought I don't understand why like such a strong reaction to like just some air that has some pollution in it. And for those of you who live like near polluted areas, oh man, that sucks. Does it smell like that around there? Like, I'm not trying to make light of it. I need to move on. So I got home yesterday and I felt sick. I felt like I was almost going to throw up, and I just went from car to store and store to car. Like, I wasn't even outside that long. The next thing I have is these are all very random. Bitcoin. What the fuck is that? I have watched so many TV, like those little like Netflix things they have. I think there was like a Bitcoin not a special, like a documentary or something. And then they have like those other shows where like you learn things, and there was like a half-hour thing about Bitcoin. I've seen like stuff on TV. I've read articles. I don't fucking understand Bitcoin. After all of that, I don't know that I will ever understand it. The only thing I think it is just invisible money. You know, like that whole living on the I don't know what it's called, the interweb. I don't know much of anything regarding this, but I don't know what the fuck Bitcoin is. Like, why do we have to have that? Why do people just seem to very easily understand what Bitcoin is and I don't? I don't get that either. Like, this is all like this shit about like selling stuff on, like, should I say online or the internet? I don't know how to describe this, but like you're selling this shit that isn't even like tangible. Like, you can't hold it. Like, you guys know what I'm talking about, right? I don't even know what the word for whatever the fuck I'm referring to is. Just, I know last year it was pretty big. Like, you can create stuff online and like sell it or whatever, but like it stays on the web. You don't actually get to have it like and touch it like physically. Why the fuck are people paying thousands of dollars for shit that they can't like touch? Like, what is it doing for them? Like, how does that add to their life? Like, I'm going to pay, I don't know, like $2,000 on some fucking painting or something that was generated on the computer. Like, what the fuck? What is this? Some fake store. This reminds me of, like years ago, I don't think that they still have this, but on Facebook, there was this game called, I believe it was called Yoville. And I liked it because I had a little character. I got to buy things for my house. You would upgrade. Like, it made me feel better, you know, like when I was going through college and I didn't have tons of money and stuff. But like, I played Yoville. And, you know, like I didn't get to the point where like you're paying money to buy these things on these games. Like, I don't know. I'm sure it makes sense to people, but it's just stuff like that you'll never have, so why pay money for it? And what does it do for you? I'd like an answer to that. The next thing I have, I don't understand why, and I do, for some of these things, I do understand. I don't mean to be confusing, but like I also don't understand. I hope you know what I mean by that. So when you're in a grocery store and like, I don't know, let's say you're at the spices or something and you need a specific spice and somebody's there in front of that area looking for something, and like they're in front of what you need. And like there's people that will pretend to like look at whatever food is on the shelves, like, I don't know, like a few feet over, pretending to look like, oh, I need something from here, until the person finishes looking for their spice and leaves, and then you can go get yours. Why do you have to pretend to look at something? Like, I just wait. Like, I don't understand, like, how is it polite to, like, pretend to look for something? Like, it's impolite to let somebody know you're waiting? What is that? What kind of social fucking thing is this? Like, I just stand. I don't give dirty looks. I just a person standing, waiting in line, like, waiting for somebody to move so I can grab an item. I don't feel the need to disguise the fact that I'm fucking doing that. And I don't understand why people do. I don't know. I would like an answer to that too, please. Next thing I have is like when you're feeling like people who feel, I'm one of those. People, I can't believe I'm saying this, people who feel personally victimized by an inanimate object. So my laptop is so fucking annoying sometimes. Like, you know, when like I'm just ready to work, I'm excited to get started, I go to open the laptop, and it happens to be that time when like either it needs a whole bunch of updates and it's just like really slow, or like it's like, I don't know, just slow, just not doing the stuff that I need it to do. And it's an older laptop. I don't know, I think I've had this one 5 or 6 years. But I get so pissed at it because, like, this actually happened yesterday. Yeah, that's why I thought of it. This happened yesterday because I was getting ready to work. I had all the stuff I needed out of the way done, like chores and errands and stuff. I go to sit down. I have music on. I am ready to work. And the laptop is, like, just freezing up and glitching, and it needs like some updates or something. Like, I thought those were supposed to be automatic, like they do it, the computer does it itself, but I don't know how that works. So I had to restart it and wait like 20 minutes for everything to be like booted back up, and then I can get back to work or get started on work. But I was so fucking pissed at that laptop. I called it names. I was like, fuck you. Like, it's weird. It made sense to me in the moment, but like I felt like that laptop like did that on purpose to me. Like, this is the shit that I do. And when I don't know, I was just like, seriously, like these objects aren't even real, and like I'm treating them like they're doing something to me on purpose. How strange is that? Does anybody else do that? Like when the internet goes out once in a while, like when we have like really bad thunderstorms, the internet will go out, and, you know, everybody streams these days. So that means if I'm streaming something, like I can't continue watching it if I'm like, you know what I mean? I get so pissed because like there's like a whole process I go through. Like I'll wait like 5 minutes. I'll fuck with a little thing on the computer, like the Wi-Fi thing, to see if it's like a computer issue. If it persists, I unplug the router or whatever, and like I plug it back in, and then if nothing's fixed, I go onto like the national grid thing and see like, is there a power outage like that affected the internet or something. Like, it's a whole process until I figure it out. And like, I like it when I figure out that it isn't my fault. It's just that it's out for a lot of people and we're all waiting for it to get fixed. But I get pissed when that happens. And I think things like, this is 2023. Why the fuck, like, haven't we figured this out yet? Like, why can internet and, like, Wi-Fi flicker on and off so easily during, like, thunderstorms? I don't understand how any of that works. But you get the point. Moving right along. So, what was I watching? I don't remember. It must not have been that important. But the only thing I took away from it was, they were talking about, I think this was like a documentary. I don't fucking know. But they were talking about, they go to airports and they don't like when people sit next to them. So like they go and they sit down and they're doing whatever, reading or whatever, and somebody that they don't know comes and sits right next to them. And so they want to move the person that got sat next to, like, is like, oh, I don't want to be here. But if I get up and leave right now, then that person's going to know that I'm doing it because I don't want to sit by them. So I'll just wait a few minutes and then I'll get up and leave, and they won't even think that it's connected to the fact that I don't want them sitting next to me. And I heard that and I'm like, I thought to myself, I wouldn't do that. I would just get up and leave. I've done that before. I don't fucking care what people think. Like, I do for some things, but there's just some things that, like, I don't fucking care. I will never see you again. And why are you sitting next to me? Like, I haven't ever been in an airport where every seat was taken. Like, I've always sat in areas where there's been, like, a lot of, sorry for the dry mouth. Where's my water? Sorry. Fucking dry mouth. Yeah, but anyways. Oh, I'm taking a sip and I think I'm going to remember what I actually said instead of forget it. But yeah, when I used to be in the military, I was on lots of planes, like going overseas, like going to the desert, visiting Japan, on my vacations, traveling Europe. I've been on a lot of planes. And so I've been in a lot of airports, and in some of them, I don't understand, like, why are you sitting right fucking next to me when there's like 30 other free seats in this same section? Why did you come sit next to me? I don't know you. Why do you feel comfortable being that close to a stranger? So every single time that's happened to me, I just get up and leave. I don't look back at the person. I don't huff and puff. I just grab my shit, get up, and go sit somewhere else. Because I don't feel the need to pretend that I don't want to do that. You know, like, what a waste. That's why, like, at movie theaters and like some concerts where you sit down, I will pick the seat on the very, very end of the row. And then like Alicia would have to sit next to me. And then that way nobody would sit by me. And I would be free to leave whenever I wanted to. I wouldn't have to like walk in front of people and like bother them. Airplanes, I would do that too. I would never pick the window seat because it's like I feel trapped. Like sitting next to a stranger sucks, but to like feel trapped, like you're by the window and then like having to, like, I have to go to the bathroom, but I went like 20 minutes ago and I drank a lot of water. Is this person going to get annoyed? Like, I will just pick the seat on the end. I don't care if my fucking elbow gets bumped by the carts that go up and down with the food. I don't care. Like, I just need access to leave. I need to be able to get out whenever I want to get out and not worry about bothering somebody. So yeah, I don't understand why people will do that. Let's see. Oh, you know when people say like, oh, can you cross your eyes? And like, that's when your eyes, like, you can move them inward. So like they're looking like, at each other. How's that crossing? They're not crossing each other. Like when I think of a cross, I think of like an X, like that crosses. There's one line and then there's another line and that other line goes over it. So that's cross. So how are my eyes crossed if they don't do that? And also, why can eyeballs, like, why can we, like, move them so they look at each other? Like your nose. I don't know what else to describe it as. How come we can do that, but we can't do it where, like, they both look outwards? Like a frog or something that has, like, eyes on the side of their heads. You know what I mean? Like, why can't if I could just move each eyeball the other direction, I could see so much more. So like, why can't we do that? Why can we only move our eyes one way? Or are there people out there that can do that and I just don't know? Okay. So don't worry, I'm almost done. Oh, this I think is legitimate. Why the fuck are we using like wheelchair pictures still at like when you go to the store and you've got like the handicap spots or whatever, like closer to the store, and there's always the picture of a person like in a wheelchair. Why does that have to be the fucking symbol for disability? Because just like reinforces, like, you know, every time you see somebody in like a wheelchair, it's almost like you view them as less than, because you see all these, like, do you know what I mean? I don't like going to the store and seeing a fucking wheelchair painted on the ground to indicate that this is where the person who's disabled can park. I think that there is another symbol that can be used, something that's not offensive like that. Because people in wheelchairs can do tons of shit. Like, they play sports, they do all kinds of shit. So why the fuck are, like, we still looking at a picture of a person in a wheelchair and thinking, like, you know, connecting that with, like, disability? You know what I mean? I think you guys know what I mean. Like, who can change that? I don't think it's right to still have that. It just bothers me. I hope that makes sense. Oh, magazine layouts. I know that there are perfectly, like, reasonable explanations for how a magazine is, like, laid out in, like, newspapers. I don't understand that. Like, I don't get why you're reading an article in a magazine and, like, I don't know, let's say it's 4 pages, and, like, you get 3 pages in, and then it says continue on page 80 something, and then you flip to that page, and there's, like, 2 paragraphs left of that 3-page article. And why can't it read like a book? Like, why can't you figure out how to put, like, articles in order? Do you know what I mean? Why do you have to jump around in a magazine? Like, why can't people figure out, like, how to, like, format it better or something? Like, I don't know. If there's too much space on a page at the end of an article, like, put a fucking picture or something. I don't know. Put something there. But it's like skipping around in a newspaper or a magazine to go finish an article, I just think is a bit ridiculous. I don't understand, like, why that hasn't been figured out yet. Like, we have technology. We have come so far. Why hasn't this just been figured out? I don't like to jump around in a magazine. Sorry. So that would be nice if that could get fixed. Those websites, like, online, like, if you're going to look at, like wine or something, you're going to, like, a website, like a store or something, you're looking at wine, and that thing pops up. Or, like, where I go to, like, purchase my marijuana, that thing pops up. Are you 21 or older? Click yes or no. Like, you must be 21 or older to enter this website. So click yes or no. And I think to myself, like, this has to be something that they have to do. Because how the fuck are you going to know if somebody is 21 or not? Like, over 21 or not? Like, you're not going to know. Why do you have to put that up there? Like, if I was 15 and I went to a site like that on purpose, and it was like, are you 21 or over? I would put no. Oh, wait, no, I wouldn't. I would put yes. Sorry. Oh, my God. I would put yes, that I would lie and say I was 21 and over. Because why would I not? Like, I wouldn't have any kind of integrity. Like, I don't know. When I was 25 and below, those were not my best years. So I don't see myself having that much integrity and, like, stumbling across a website that asks me if I'm of age to look at a product and me being like, oh, no, I'm not. I guess I can't look at it. That's so stupid. Take those off, or, like, don't post your shit online or something. I don't know. And then, like, I still don't understand why I have difficulty using the phone. I do and I don't. Sorry if I'm just yelling. I feel like I yell a lot, but oh well. Hopefully it's not too loud. But yeah. Why don't I like using the phone? I'm almost positive it's because of the auditory stuff I was talking about before, about, like, auditory processing issues, like, and figuring, like, that out, that's why I don't like using the phone, or, like, you know, doing Zoom and stuff like that online. But is that really that's not the only reason, right? Like, I'm bringing this up because I don't know how to put this into words. Like, I just find this very, very strange that this one thing has been so difficult for me to do, like, throughout my life. Like, just using the fucking phone. Like, every place I've worked, if you, like, my last place, the receptionists need breaks and stuff. The ones who work up front that check out. Oh my God, my talking sucks. Sorry, I can't edit any of this, so you're just stuck with having listened to all of that. Like, you know, when clients come in to like an outpatient program and they check in and stuff, and like the receptionists are there and they do all that on the computer. I was able to do that stuff. Like, I'd fill in for them, like, when they needed breaks and I had like nothing going on. But every single time, like, it came to like transferring phone calls, like if somebody called and was like, hey, is so-and-so there? I never know how to transfer the phone call to that person's office. I always have to be shown, and I always forget. Like, I always don't know how to do it. Like, I'll be like, oh, can you show me how to do this? And then I'll get shown, and then I won't know how to do it. But, like, my thinking is, well, if I mess it up, at least, like, they should have known that I didn't know how to do it because I asked to be shown. But when you have worked at a place for several years, you can't keep using that same excuse. I could never figure that out. For some reason, like, any job I've had, if somebody were to call or if I had to call them, I usually didn't have a problem with it. I could hear them fine. I wasn't like having tons of anxiety. Like, it must just have something to do with like, okay, I'm in work mode now. There's no time for all this excess anxiety. Like, maybe it was something like that. But like outside of like work environments, like, sorry for all the likes. I just don't talk good. One of our cats has like, she's just a dry kitty. She always has like dry skin, and I don't know, like, if her allergies are kicking up, but now she's like pulling her hair out, like she's biting, like she's got little patches on her backside of like just spots where she's pulled her hair out because it must have itched or something. And that happened with Janice's cat next door. So, and she took hers to the vet. So I called yesterday to get her in. But it took me a while to make that phone call. And it's so simple. You call, you tell them what the problem is, that you have been there before and you're in the system, and then you just get your appointment. And it sounds so simple, but it just is this big obstacle for me. And I wish more places would give you the option to like schedule something online rather than having to call, because I mean, I understand why you need a call, but for some things, like, you should just be able to schedule it yourself online. Like you can with like oil changes and stuff for your car. So yeah, I don't know, like, I just need to know, like, why so much anxiety? Is it really because I'm afraid I won't understand them? Is it more because I'm afraid that like maybe I'll be asked something and not know the answer to it and then feel stupid? Like, is it a combination of all of that stuff? Why is it that like I'm this far in life and I still have so much anxiety over using the phone or like receiving a phone call from somebody I don't know? But like, I talked to Laura on the phone yesterday for like an hour, and I had her on speaker, which is how I can hear better, and I had no problem talking to her. But if it was like the vet talking to me for like an hour, I would have hung up like 5 minutes in, because I wouldn't have known like what they were talking about, or what they were saying, or you know what I mean? I don't know what that's about. I'd like to know like more specifics. Is there a name for this? Because I've heard this, like, lots of people that are autistic have this issue, and I don't know if there's a name for it. Oops, dropped my phone. Sorry. Okay. And the last thing I have, I watched this show that I just found out about. I think it was on Hulu, called A Small Light. It had Liev Schreiber in it. It was about like the Anne Frank time period, and it was centered around like Meep, the person that like helped hide them. But anyways, I binge watched that show. It was so fucking good. And it made me want to buy Anne Frank's diary. And I read it as a kid, but none of that shit meant anything to me because I was a kid. I was like, why am I reading a diary? Like, I didn't understand very well, like, the importance of that stuff, but I do now. And so I'm reading it, and I'm like maybe 30 pages in, and I'm having all these thoughts of like, and these questions, like, did she really write this stuff word for word? Like, is it translated exactly as she wrote it? Because how do people journal like this? It's like she's writing a book. She describes everything. And I know she says that she pretends to write it to somebody else called Kitty, but still, like, very detailed. I don't know. I think I'm pretty, I wouldn't say certain because I'm not certain, but like, I feel pretty sure that she was autistic. Like, just some of the stuff I'm reading that she's talking about, like, she feels like she doesn't fit in with her family at all. Like, she's just kind of off on her own, doing her own thing. And like I said, the way that she's like writing in her journal, like very, very detailed. Like, I am very detailed, like when I journal, but like not to the extent that she is. And some of how she was portrayed on the show made me think like, yeah, like, do they think that she was autistic? Does anybody out there think that Anne Frank was autistic? Because I do. And man, I wish she could have lived longer. What a smart kid that was. But yeah, I'm just like 30 pages in, and I'm pretty sure she was autistic. And it's interesting to read about like how different she feels from her family, and like it's just really interesting. It just reminds me of something that like an autistic person would say. So I'm not sure if anybody else like has thought about this or whatever, or if I'm just over here in my own little world, diagnosing everyone. That's all I've got for things I still don't understand. I don't know what the purpose of these episodes are other than, like I said, relatable. And please let me know if you feel like this too, please let me know that I'm not the only one. I'm sorry I sound like a broken record when I say that, but some of this shit, I'm just like, I still think that it's just me. And I know that it's not, but I still think it is. Like, I don't know if I have like a weird thought or if I do something strange, I'm like, oh my God, nobody else would fucking do this. That's how weird I am. But I guess people out there do the same things. So yeah, I hope I hear from you. Thank you for listening. Hopefully it was relatable, and goodbye.